as you go through life and observe your social groups, indeed your family for that matter, or the community of which you become part, at Wesley for example, or indeed in a workplace, hometown, society in general. It's interesting to watch as issues arise how they go about being resolved. It's a key thing to consider is who gets the blame and who is asked to pay the price. Normally we don't pay too much attention to that so long as we're not being blamed and we're not asked to pay too much for whatever the resolution of the situation involved requires. But there is this thing that generally speaking, societies have found ways of unifying around blaming the weakest link. Now, that's not to say that it is actually the responsibility of that link. It's just that they're the least able to defend themselves, and so it's the most efficient way of sheeting blame home to somebody and dealing with the issue. It kind of requires a certain turning away from all the facts, but let's be honest, we all do that a good deal of the time. And you know, in the end, it's quite an efficient way of retaining social unity and peace in the land. Find someone to blame, the person that's, or the people that are least able to fight against that accusation, and job done. It's a long, tried and true process that has been consistently used down through history. This gets challenged at a point about 2,000 years ago when a certain Galilean preacher, who's known to be a good man and broadly speaking praised by most people, not the authorities so much, but most other people, and he allows himself to become the weakest link. Actually allows himself to become the victim of the cultural system and the religious system of his day. He hasn't done anything wrong. In fact, as I say, everyone believes him to be quite a good person. But he makes the choice to not run, to not hide, to not deflect the blame, and not even to really defend himself very rigorously. And why would he do that? What a silly person. Except if he's wanting to make a really crucial point, a very costly point for him because it costs him his life, but a crucial point nonetheless, and that is that blaming the weakest link just so you can maintain your peace and unity is in fact highly destructive. Quite apart from what it does to the whole notion of truth or justice, it also builds a culture based on a profound level of fear. It means that everybody competes to ensure they're not the weakest link, because arbitrary accusation and blame will fall upon them if inadvertently they find themselves in that weak link position. So we get the man, Jesus, who some of us call the Christ, and he willingly gives himself to becoming the victim of a system he knows to be destructive, he knows that will destroy the weakest link, and he decides to take that role in order to expose the true nature of that system. Now, we're not very good at seeing this because we are so good at doing the other thing, which is blame shifting and rallying around and unifying against an opponent who we blame. And that's very handy because it enables us to not take on personal responsibility if it's all their fault. Job done, right? Jesus, by contrast, continually, in all his preaching and in all the things he did, basically called people to take on responsibility for the things they do and the ways they behave, and more than that, to see past the blame shifting culture and to appreciate that actually life is found not in the taking of another's life, but in the giving of your own. Now that's hard to believe, because all our animal instincts, all our carefully evolved survival mechanisms tell us, no, we must survive. That sometimes survival is the enemy of life, because sometimes you have to die in order to live. And as you go through life, I'd encourage you to think about that. It's not obvious, it is true. And that's the kind of stuff I like to talk about. So, if that tickles your fancy, or indeed if you think I'm an idiot and you want to show me how stupid I am, come and talk to me about it. That's, in between your studies, of course. Okay, God bless. I'll see you around the college. Try and keep away from COVID. Very hard to see, of course, but seems to be hitting a few people, and I want to stay safe and well. Bye for now.